Hi guys, coming to you again once again. We do have our guests with us again. The other night, unfortunately, the sound went out. So we're coming to you again tonight. Let me get my Facebook family on. Hi guys, we're coming to you again with the candidate for sheriff, Mr. Kevin L. Burns. All right. Y'all know I'm going to start off by saying Jesus is my everything and he will always be. We thank you guys that are joining in tonight. We thank you for your support. I believe in this candidate, and that's why I'm going to keep coming on my podcasts. I'm going to go on live. Sometimes you guys are going to see me on the street as a volunteer, handing out flyers, because a change has to come. Now, this is not a derogatory statement of the present sheriff. I mean, that's not what we do. We just know that Mr. Burns is an awesome candidate, and we'd like to see him become the next sheriff of Chatham County. To those families this week that lost loved ones, you have my sincere sympathy. We're praying with you and for you. To those that are going through tough times all over America, we send love. We're praying for you. Y'all know my motto, so I'm getting ready to say it right now. I'd rather reach for the moon and miss than aim for the gun and make it. To thy own self, thou must stay true. You can't be false with any man, a night or a day. That's Shakespeare, y'all. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce him, Mr. Kevin L. Burns.
Thank you so much, Mama Pam. Thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate you for allowing me to come on again tonight. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for not thinking it robbery for you to be here and to join us tonight. My name is Kevin L. Burns. I am currently a candidate for Chatham County Sheriff 2024. So I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that you had a blessed, safe day. We were just looking to tell you some things about what's going on within your community, which I'm quite sure that you have already, already. But I just wanted to enlighten you on some things about what's happening to our community here at Chatham County. Here's a few things. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from New York City, Harlem. My mom is from Harlem, but my daddy is from good old Savannah, Georgia. I've been educated out at St. John's, the university, St. John's University out there in New York City. I should say in Jamaica, Queens. It's known as Jamaica, Queens. I received my associate's degree in liberal arts. I received my bachelor degree in science in paralegal studies, criminal justice. When I left in 2003, I came to Savannah. I call it home because it was like a home away from home. So I came to Savannah. I began working as a substitute teacher for the Board of Education at the Wren Middle School. I stayed there about 3 years, coached a little bit as an assistant, and then I was also working as an after-school program manager at the Lutheran Services of Georgia at the Old Pius School. I worked there. Then when I left there, I moved on to the Savannah Regional Youth Detention Center. Worked there for a couple of years, 3 years. And when I left there, I went to the Chatham County Sheriff Office, which I've been retired coming up a few years now. I am a post-certified peace officer for the state of Georgia. So I am a certified officer. And I'm a retired corporal for the Chatham County Sheriff Office. Tonight, what I'd like to really speak to you about is my platform briefly. There's a couple of things I'd like to mention. First of all, I'd like to talk about effective public safety within our community. The second thing I'd like to talk about is auditing the jail. The third thing I'd like to talk about is hiring qualified officers. And the fourth thing I'd like to leave you all with tonight is the mental health crisis that we are having within our jail. So with those things, I'd like to expound on those things for a few minutes. And part of the reason why I'm running for sheriff, because I believe that we all deserve better. You deserve better as taxpayers in Chatham County. So what I would like to start off telling you is that, excuse me, I'd like to start telling you that, we know what the problem is. We know that there's a high crime level here in Chatham County. We know that there's a high uh, youth offender crime level within Chatham County. We know that our jail's not operating the way it should. We also know that mental health, the mentally ill, they come to the jail, but they don't receive the proper mental um, treatment that they deserve to receive. So we know what the problem is. The thing is that what are we going to do to change all that, change that narrative? So that's why I'm running for sheriff, because I feel that there's a lot of changes that needs to be done. We're going to start talking about effective public safety. Effective public safety is very vital into the way in which we live. Without public safety, we simply will be living in anarchy. So public safety is very important. Um, let's look at everything around us in Chatham County. Everywhere you go, you see that there's a some new facilities being built, whether it's a factory, warehouse. More businesses are moving into Chatham County. More people are moving into Chatham County. More since post-pandemic, um, tourism has went up high. That's back up, running again high. Um, so we have a lot of activities into Chatham County. So there's a lot of people that comes into Chatham County, but somehow people that living in Chatham County don't feel safe. When I walk among the streets, people are, they fear what will happen to them if they was to go to the supermarket. I tell you for a fact, I'm afraid to take my wife out to the movies or anything, because we do not know who will come into the theater possibly to shoot. You have mass shootings all over the nation. Chatham County's been very fortunate thus far that hasn't happened. But the fact of the matter is, what are your sheriff officers doing about it? John Wiltshire failed to do anything about it. You don't see him. You don't hear anything from him. You'll see him about when he's doing something, pretending to be doing something, books, bikes, badges. That doesn't protect the community. That doesn't protect the community at all. But these are all political stunts for him. Remember, crime is not a 8 to 4 or a 9 to 5 crisis. Crime is a 24/7 situation. And your sheriff office is only 8 to 4. So, unfortunately, John Wiltshire doesn't care about public safety. Now, he may tell you, yes, he does, and this and that, but what is he doing about it? And I'll tell you, not a thing. Not a thing. And he's not going to do any differently in another 4 years that he hasn't already done in 8. Coming close to 8, 2024 make the 8th year of his second term. So what I'm looking to do about it? Well, the first thing first, you have to develop relationships. Within Chatham County, you have about 7 municipalities, police departments. I feel that you should have a meeting at least once a month and talk to the police chiefs, the various police chiefs, come up with some ideas and strategy. Find out where we are, because I understand we all are short. When you start talking about law enforcement is short across the nation. So it's just not here. But Chatham County has a lot of municipalities, police municipalities, that, hey, we all can come across something, some type of solution, what we can do better to help each other out. And I think that's the responsibility of the sheriff, and it should be. But no, you're not going to get that from Mr. Wilcher. I think we also should have more police presence. You know, it's a wonderful thing when you living in a beautiful place. You know, the weather is nice. You know, and just a lot of nice scenery and so forth. You want to be able to enjoy your community. You want to be able to take your dog out, no matter when you take your dog out. Just the other day, young man, Savannah High School, got shot on his way to school. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, you have babies dying. You have children dying by bullets. And we're not going to even talk about the fentanyl situation. So there's a lot that needs to be done. But you think John Wilcher is concerned? No, he isn't. Because had he been concerned about you, he would be doing more about it than what he's been doing. So he's not proactive among the community. So let's not be deceived. So I think with public safety, and it's not just, I just don't want to also just be a person that just out there and just fighting crime. While I'm doing that, I also want to hear from you, the people, because you're the one that counts. It's your community. So I need to hear from you. And at the end of the day, the sheriff's office is your office. I'll just be the person just kind of supervising and directing. But at the end of the day, I need to hear what you, the community, has to say. What ideas and thoughts that you have. So that's very important. The next thing is Mr. Wilcher, when he first came into office in back 2016, the sheriff's office had a pretty good staff of officers. We had some really experienced, professional, good officers. We had great officers that was really passionate about the job that they have done, very dedicated. But unfortunately, Mr. John Wilcher came into office due to mismanagement of staff, mistreatment of staff, and a former chief deputy who he allowed to fire a lot of good officers and discourage many good officers. Mr. Wilcher now complains that no one wants to work. He can't find anyone to work the jail because nobody wants to work. That isn't true. When he came into office, the sheriff's office was really staffed pretty good. There's lost a lot of good officers there. But as his chief deputy fired a lot of the good officers, Mr. Wilcher just stood there and he had done nothing. So now he's complaining about something that he could have prevented, but he didn't. So now he's complaining about not having officers. So what he's doing, he has a few old officers there, and he has many young officers there that's doing the best that they can. They're working, night and day. They don't even have time to go to their families, to spend decent time and quality time with their families because they're at the jail. And Mr. Wilcher's idea of incentive is, well, we got a lot of money, we got overtime. Overtime is not an incentive, especially when it's mandatory. Okay? So what I would like to do is I would like to reach out. First of all, give a pay raise for these men and women who are out there working out jails, working out streets. Get a better pay raise out there. Pay something, because the cost of living always goes up. So we need to get something like that for our deputies, our officers out there who put their lives on the line day in and day out for us. And the second thing is, there's a lot of people that would like to work for the Chatham County Sheriff Office. Some of them live other areas of Georgia. Some of them live in other areas, but they just cannot afford the cost of living in Chatham County. So why not look into subsidize some housing for the officers, subsidize some childcare for the officers. That's what we need to do. That's what I'll be looking to do. I understand, we want public safety. We have to start from somewhere. And I think what I'm looking to do would be a great place to start. Not just having anybody. Right now, the sheriff office, they backs us so much against the wall until they're not hiring the qualified candidates that they should. That's why you may have one or two officers doing things that they shouldn't, like bringing drugs into the jail. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the jail is not safe at all. That jail isn't safe for inmates. That jail isn't safe for the correction officers. That jail isn't safe for the civilians that work there. That jail is totally unsecure. And just a couple of weeks ago, on a Friday, an inmate had died. 3 days later, another inmate died that Monday afternoon. And this was due to fentanyl. Now, they don't know how the fentanyl got into the jail, but fentanyl is floating around in that jail. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than that of heroin, 100 times stronger than that of morphine. You get a whatever it is, you think you're going to get high off of fentanyl. No, that's instant death. And that's what we have floating around at the jail. Now, I get it. The inmates, they have done, some of them have done some heinous crimes. Some of them, but the job of the sheriff is to be the legal custodian of everyone who entered that jail. Whether they're going to court, whether they have to be transferred to prison, whatever it may be, while they're there, they are to be safe. So you're not getting that there. You don't get that there right now. So, and that's due to the lack of qualified officers. Instead of just getting anyone with a pulse to come in there, that's due to the lack of qualified officers. And you don't have enough officers in that jail to have that jail function properly. And at the end of the day, we all should be concerned about that, because those inmates, like it or not, they're someone's loved ones. They're our loved ones. They could be our brother, our mother, our sister, our brother, our niece, our nephew, our cousin. They are someone that we love. Yes, I know we don't condone what they do, but at the end of the day, they're still a loved one. So we need to do a better job. They need to do a better job in taking care of the inmates in the jail, the facility. They need to do a better. John Wiltshire don't do a great job in taking care of his officers. He doesn't back his officers. He doesn't back his officers. He doesn't communicate properly with his officers. Now, I tell you this, though. It's an election year coming up in 2024. Now, he's going to be around all the churches. He's going to be here and there and everywhere. The NAACP have a little meeting here at the church or whatever. Mr. John Wiltshire is going to be there. Mr. John Wiltshire is going to be there to politic, to hand out his business card. Vote for him again for another 4 years. My only question is, why? You're not getting anything out of it. He's just taking the taxpayers' money. There's improvements that need to be made to that jail. It hasn't been made. They got the money, but it hasn't been made. No improvements. It's the same old thing. The same old thing. And then, matter of fact, it's getting worse. And now, mind you, John Wiltshire he's not concerned about patrolling the streets or anything. No. The least he can do is try to run the jail properly, but he can't even get that right. He cannot get that right. So why would you want to vote for a person who can do something, but just simply not willing to do anything? So we come 2024, if you like my platform, let your voice be heard. Please, I encourage you, let your voice be heard. And finally, but not least, the mental health issue in this country is really is devastating. It's a devastating factor. Mental health across the country is really bad. So Georgia is ranked, if you can guess, Georgia is ranked. They're not the 30th. Where Georgia's not the 40th. Georgia is dead last 50th in the nation when it comes down to handling mental health crisis. So what's happening now, what you have at the jail, you have a lot of people who's locked up, but they're mentally ill. And I'm talking about people just a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Wiltshire had posted on the Sally Port door at the jail of at least 10 to 12 names that he don't want to come to the jail anymore. So they have misdemeanors, but he don't want them to come to the jail. And the only reason why he's saying that is because he looked at my platform where I said that the mentally ill shouldn't really be locked up at the jail because they don't get the treatment that they deserve. Jail is not a mental health institution. So we get a lot of these people, they come to the jail, they don't get the proper treatment that they deserve. Even the regular inmates don't get the proper treatment that they deserve because they don't get their medication in time. They may be scheduled for a particular medication at 4 p.m. They may not get that medication till midnight, if they get it at all. It's the same thing with the mentally ill inmates. So what I'm saying is, Mr. Wiltshire, he placed this here list on the door, Sally Port door, of at least, I know one of them. I know one of the inmates, his name flashes out at me. And he's been coming to the jail prior to me working at the jail. And he's still coming to the jail after I'm gone. So now what will happen is that many times these people are homeless. Many times these people, family members, supposed to be the caregivers. They get these mentally ill people in their homes. And then what they do, they take their disability checks and then they throw out the individual. So these individuals become homeless. So what that do? That's now you tie in the hands of law enforcement because law enforcement don't really have a place to take these people who are mentally ill. I tell you right now, I don't want them in the jail because it's just a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of time and it's liability. So it's not worth to have a mentally ill person. Now, if they commit a felony, we have to take a look at that. But Wiltshire, he's looking at my platform, my mental health platform, and he's like, well, you know what? I just don't want to be bothered with them. So now you leaving them out there on the street. You putting them in harm's way. So he don't have a plan. My plan is to hire some behavioral health clinicians who can ride around with our sheriff deputies and right there on the spot they can diagnose these individuals and also work out something with these other mental health entities that's willing to help these mentally ill people. That's what I suggest. No, if you got to pick them up, take them to a mental health facility where they can get the treatment that and the respect that they deserve, not jail. Everybody who has a mental health issue doesn't deserve to be in jail. So we just wanted to make sure, we and me as the sheriff, I will work diligently on that. I will work really diligently on that, because there needs to be improvement. What about going out for the hardened criminals? What about the criminals out there? What about going after the murderers, the molesters, the rapists? That's what jail is for. That's what jail is for. So I don't want to have a situation where the jail is just, it's packed. We can't get those people who are supposed to deserve to be there, because we have a whole bunch of mentally ill people who's misplaced. And that's what's really happening over at the jail. So my whole thing is this. If you want improvement, and I encourage everyone who's listening tonight, if you want the sheriff that you deserve, I'm asking you to pitch in. Do what you can, contribute, because running a campaign like this, believe it or not, it's not easy. And I have a lot of ground to cover. I have all of Chatham County. So I appreciate it if you can contribute $1, $5, $10, $25, whatever you can contribute. That's great. I'm happy. I'm elated, because it's going to take a little finances just to get my message across. And if you like my platform, if you really like my platform, please, I encourage you to chip in. You have any questions, concerns, moans, and groans, please, you can call me at 912-200-7796. Once again, 912-200-7796. I just also want to say this too. With the crime, I just want to let you know where Georgia, where the mental health is placed, and where it stands at, where we ranked at in the state of Georgia with the mentally ill. We ranked at last at 50. According to the FBI uniform crime report, Chatham County has more high level of crime rate than that of the city of Atlanta, Fulton County, Gwinnett, DeKalb. Yes. So the crime rate is high here in Chatham County. But I don't want we shouldn't have to be walking in fear. We shouldn't have to go to the store and we have to, we hear something drop off the shelf, we think it's a gunshot. We should be comfortable when our children are going to school. We shouldn't have to have all those fears and anxieties. But to have a sheriff in office like Mr. Wilcher, who is not making any efforts to rectify, to come up with some solutions in fighting crime, it's a travesty. So coming in 2024, May of 2024, I need your help. Get out. Let your voice be heard. In November of 2024, get out. Let your voice be heard. You can contact me. You can contact Mama Pam. You can go on my website. As a matter of fact, you can go to kevinlburns.com. kevinlburns.com. But let your voice be heard. Don't tolerate what you've been receiving for the past 8 years. So I'm going to close out. I thank you so much for allowing me to come through. I thank you so much for your time. And like I said, I thank you for not thinking that this is robbery by allowing me to come and sit to talk with you all. And I thank Mama Pam for allowing me to come through. So I just wanted to say, come May of 2024, vote for Kevin L. Burns, the sheriff that you deserve. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless Chatham County. And God bless our U.S. troops. Thank you. And good night.
We want to thank Mr. Kevin Burns tonight. I'm going to make a donation to your campaign, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns, if you come back, I'm going to make a donation to your campaign. We want to thank you for just taking on the calls. You know, my thing is, I understood what he said. I'm going to let him do sheriff stuff, but I'm going to do humanitarian stuff. I believe that our children deserve a fair shake. Now, those of you, once again, that know my story, I've been places where the people he get ready to try to protect. And I'm going to tell you, back in the day, we had good officers. May Officer Swinton rest in peace.
Sleep in peace.
I could tell so many good officers. We had good counselors. You see, because mental health is not always seen. It could be inward. Okay? Some people have went through, men and women have went through stuff that they could never talk about. You see, but I had counselors that I can go and talk to. Hey, Sanders, what's the matter with you? Well, this happened and I'm not feeling very well. I even had a therapist one time to tell me, Miss Sanders, I'm going to give you this medicine, but you don't need it. After speaking with me, he said, you weren't too intelligent for that. He said, but I'm going to give it to you for now. You see, so we need more counselors. We need those old-fashioned counselors from 20-some years ago. So, yes, I haven't been there in 23 years. But I'm going to tell you the impact of some of those officers and counselors that made a difference in my life. I want to see our children. I'm on the part where I'm on the humanitarian side because I want to see our children get a fair shake. Okay? Even if the sheriffs come out and talk with them. I don't want to see anybody beating our children. Okay? Because it can be a better way. Everybody's not out to hurt a police officer. Everybody's not out to hurt the sheriff. And I can tell you some things. Okay? Because I've been some places that most people would dare to trod, but God. Okay? So I believe in what Mr. Kevin L. Burns is saying. I've spoken with him and his beautiful wife. Okay? So I believe in this, y'all. I believe in this, man. Y'all know me. Y'all know the Pam. Y'all know what it was with the Pam. Ain't no sense in sugarcoating it. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But because of some people that made an impact in my life, didn't treat me like I was dirt, the Pam's still here. I celebrated 60 years. Everything that he talked about. A year ago, my 2-year-old great-grandbaby was killed to gun violence. My only great-grand. Okay? I have forgiven the young man. I have forgiven him. But they're still never going to bring my baby back. And I know several of you out there, you know, let's take a positive stand. It ain't about, you know, we got this thing that we used to say, man, I ain't the police. Neither am I. I'm going to let him do his job, but I'm going to fight for what's right. That's the bottom line. Man. You do your job. I ain't going to tell you how to run your job, Sheriff Burns. But I am going to fight for what's right. Because it wasn't a time that my child was in there. Mama didn't want to take me to medical. On that phone, there I go. Let me talk to a lieutenant. Let me talk to somebody. Because that's my child. Whatever he did wrong, I don't condone that. But y'all didn't lock him up in y'all jail to die. Okay? So yes, I'm one of them kind of mothers. Yeah, I'm one of them kind of mothers. Once again, I don't condone what he did. And we're not condoning any offender, Sheriff Burns call them inmates, we call them offenders. We're not condoning that. What he's asking for is fair treatment. Do like the prison system. Walk through your jail, see what's going on. You don't want to know what's going on in your jail. You don't want to meet the people you scared of them. I'm just saying, that's what you get paid to do. So we're looking for a sheriff that's going to take the initiative to walk through there. No, we cannot save everybody, but we can make a difference in somebody's life. From the counter of Mama Pam Speaks. Thanks for your time. Guys, let's make a change. Get out and vote. Voting is power. It don't cost you a dime. And you get a free little Georgia sticker. I'm just saying. Okay? All right. From the counter of Mama Pam Speaks, we're with the newly elected Sheriff Burns.
Thank you.
And his beautiful wife who will come on camera and say hi. Miss Charlene, come and say hi. Because I know a lot of people have met you. Yes. They say that these two sheriffs, when they were in power, they were kind people. Yes. Oh, you can believe the Pam that did her research. You can believe the Pam that did her research. Okay? All right. So we want to thank them tonight. We want to thank them for coming and just being on my podcast. You guys, it's time to make a difference. It is time for change. When people say their values, we're going to hold them to it. Because I already told them, the Pam going to get on the phone, hey, Sheriff Burns, you see I can come talk to them children. I want to talk to them children. I want to make a difference in their life. So y'all know I'm going to hold them to it, right?
Come on.
So we thank God tonight for him and his values. Once again, this is not a hit at, this politics, so he's going to see what he got to say. But it's not a hit at Sheriff Welcher, but it's time for change. We got to do what we got to do. We must love all. As in ministry, we don't say the negative or derogatory about another person. The Pam not anyway. That's the sheriff's job. But he gonna say what he got to say. And statistically, he speaks from statistics by working there. I speak from statistics by being there. Okay. All right, with all that being said, guys, we want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for your vote. Periodically, you're going to see the upcoming Sheriff Burns on my podcast, because I'm supporting this. Y'all know the Pam don't know nothing about politics. But if God said it can be done, I believe it. Amen. I believe it because I believe in people. I believe in people. I never met a person that I hated. And my motto has always been, if you can help somebody along the way, then your living on earth has not been in vain. With that being said, good night, guys. Good night from the Burns.
Please get out and vote.
Please get out and vote. Miss Charlene said, get out and vote. All right. We thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful, 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 awesome night. We'll see you again real soon.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.